In the last video, we took an introduction into geometry and we looked at angles and how angles are formed. And we also classified angles based on whether they were acute, right angle, obtuse, straight angle, or reflex angles. Now, another thing that I want to go over is the idea of parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So let's start off with parallel lines. Parallel lines are going to be lines that are going to never cross or touch, even if they are extended indefinitely. So let's say we have lines that look like this. This is an example of parallel lines. These lines are going to go on infinitely in either direction, and no matter how far we extend these lines out, they are never going to touch or cross one another. And these lines are going to maintain the same distance apart as they go on and on and on indefinitely. So we can have lines that look like this. These are also parallel lines. And the idea is just that they're never going to cross. They're going to maintain the same distance apart no matter how long we extend them. And they don't have to be either horizontal or vertical. We can have diagonal lines that are parallel. They can be in any orientation as long as our two lines are going to never cross or touch each other and they're going to stay the same distance apart as they are extended indefinitely. So that is what we mean by parallel lines. Then we have perpendicular lines. And perpendicular lines are lines that are going to intersect with one another to make 90-degree angles. So we can see here that we have two perpendicular lines. They're going to be intersecting over here to form 90-degree angles. So this is 90 degrees and this is 90 degrees. So this is an example of a perpendicular line. They're going to meet and make a 90-degree angle or a right angle. So another thing that I want to go over in this video is the idea of complementary angles and supplementary angles. So let's start out with complementary angles. Complementary angles are going to be angles, and I'm going to use the shorthand here of just denoting angles. So complementary angles are going to be angles that are going to add up to 90 degrees. So they add up to 90 degrees. So what does that mean? So let's say over here we have a 90-degree angle, right? This entire angle over here is 90 degrees. So this angle right now is 90 degrees, but let's say we had another line that intersected over here. Let's say we had a line like this. Now, instead of having one 90-degree angle, now we have two angles that we have created. We have this angle here, and we have this angle here. So we have two angles that together are going to add up to 90 degrees. So let's say this is angle B, and this is angle A. Angle A plus angle B are going to equal to 90 degrees. So because these angles together are going to add up to 90 degrees, we call them complementary angles. Now, what about supplementary angles? So supplementary angles, it's a similar idea. Supplementary angles are going to add to 180 degrees. So instead of adding to 90 degrees, supplementary angles are adding to 180 degrees. So let's say we had our 180 degree line over here. So right now we have this segment, and this entire angle as it stands right now is 180 degrees. But let's say we had a line segment that was intersecting with this. Let's say it looked like that. Now we have two angles. We have an angle over here. Let's say that's angle A. And we have an angle here. Let's say that is angle B. And now we have two angles that neither of them alone are 180 degrees, but together they're going to add to 180 degrees. So we say that these are supplementary angles because angle A plus angle B are going to add to 180 degrees. So that is what we refer to as supplementary angles, two angles that when added together equal 180 degrees. And complementary angles are angles that when added together are going to equal 90 degrees. So that is just another thing to remember when we are discussing terminology of these different types of angles. And that is what we are going to cover in this video. And in the next video, we're going to go into more detail on the different relationships between angles and really start to go into our geometry topic a bit further.